All right, buongiorno, good morning. Your boy Big Rich, September 7th, Saturday morning. I got to get this one story out before the plumbers get here, and I won't be coming back to the studio till Sunday night, all right? So the next mob stories will go out Sunday night, Monday morning, Tuesday morning. But I just still wanted to get a couple about today if I can before the plumbers come, all right? So let's get down to business. Union racketeer, I'm bad, but not that bad, wants a deal like Chin's son got. That's a picture of Vincent Esposito on the screen. Frank Cognetta may be an admitted bribe taker who disgraced his former union, but that doesn't mean he should serve a longer sentence behind bars than the 2 years that the son of the late Godfather Vincent the Chin Gigante got for his own role as a shakedown artist in the same case. The part of the argument, Cognetta, the former secretary treasurer of Local 1D of the United Foods and Commercial Workers Union, UFCW, is offering when he faces the music at his sentencing tomorrow. The 33 to 41 months called for his sentencing guidelines are a lot tougher than the deuce that Gigante's son Vincent Esposito got for the 16 years he spent extorting bribes from a sister union. Cognetta also cited government tapes that identify him as an extortion victim who was threatened by the same Genovese family mobsters who helped Esposito shake down Vincent Fife, the president of the UFCW's sister union, Local 2D. For another thing, Cognetta argues that his guidelines were based on the calculations that he received 1.14 million in bribes when he actually only pocketed 325,000 from 2014 to 2017. The 4 years he took kickbacks for health insurance and other benefit plans he purchased for his union. Cognetta stated that he was deeply remorseful and that he hurt the union, but he noted that probation officials recommended a below guideline sentence in the pre-sentence report, also known as the PSR, to his sentencing judge because his numbers were based on a loss amount much higher than his pecuniary gain in the offense. Even the government's estimate of kickbacks that Cognetta received, 404,000, was 700,000 less than the 1.14 million in cash upon which his guidelines were based. According to the sentencing memo, that Cognetta's attorneys, Joseph Carrazzo, Angela Lipsman, and Marshall Mintz, filed with Manhattan federal judge Victor Marrero. The attorneys wrote that more than 500,000 in kickbacks were pocketed by financial advisor Clifford Moss, a government witness in the case, and the balance was received by Salvatore Cognetta, who preceded his son as Local 1D Secretary Treasurer and died in 2013 after a long bout with cancer. So Clifford Moss here also pocketed money, got caught, and now is a rat, and he's singing Disgracia, singing like a fucking canary. The lawyers argued that the PSR unfairly blamed kickbacks Cognetta received for losses that the union's major medical fund suffered due to fraudulent claims that were submitted by non-unionized individuals who did not work in the wine, liquor, and distillery industry and never became union members. The lawyers claimed that the lawyers dispute that claim, insisting that the workers were union members even though they were employed outside the liquor industry. The lawyers noted that as early as 2000, long before Cognetta was employed by Local 1D, the union had been recruiting members from other non-traditional entities in an effort to increase the size of its membership, more dues, and that over the years had organized workers from more than 20 employers outside the liquor industry. Furthermore, the lawyers wrote, Cognetta helped to bring the union and other non-traditional individuals whose enrollment he did not financially benefit from, and that he had the union initiate steps to prevent fraudulent claims by hiring an independent company to audit the claims. The lawyers argued that kickbacks he got for union members outside the liquor industry were incidental to his corrupt activities because the union was perfectly happy to increase the size of its memberships by enrolling non traditional individuals into the union and into the major medical plan. The attorney stressed they were, quote, not making this distinction to undermine the severity of Mr. Cognetta's conduct, but to clarify the scope of illegal conduct. See, when you do illegal things, your lawyers are there to help clarify the scope of what you really did wrong. You gotta love lawyers. They're fucking crooked. But still, they're crooks that know the law. In asking for a prison term of 6 months followed by home detention, lawyers Carrazzo, Lipsman, and Mintz declared that despite taking part in a racketeering conspiracy, Cognetta was a victim and in fear of the racketeering enterprise at issue. The lawyers did not name names, but in their detailed 47-page filing, they cited tape threats that Genovese mobsters Stephen Mad Dog Arena and Frankie G. Giovinco uttered to Cognetta and to Moss about their client. They also noted that Cognetta was heard on tape voicing fears for his own life if he refused to go along with their wishes over the years. Arena has pled guilty and awaits sentencing. Giovinco is slated for trial in November. We'll be covering that trial as well. In July of 2016, Giovinco, whose request to be hired by Local 1D was rejected by Cognetta 2 years earlier, was taped telling Moss to alert Cognetta that Arena wanted $30,000 from the kickbacks he had received. My friends, they don't want to let go of this Cognetta shit, Giovinco said. The lawyers wrote, noting that prosecutors used the exact quote to argue that Frankie G was a danger to the community and should be held without bail to await trial when he was arrested. The following year, Cognetta was taped recording explaining that Arena and Giovinco were threatening my life because they wanted him to pay them half of a $60,000 payment Moss had given him, and because Cognetta had laid off Arena's daughter from a job she had with Local 1D, the lawyers wrote. I'm worried because now they're threatening my life because of the $60,000, and I laid his daughter off, Cognetta told Moss on September 5th, 2017. So he went up to the high, and now they're threatening my life, which is why I'm worried. It ain't coming from the lower guys, it's coming from the top. I'm worried that these guys are going to do something based on this information. Despite his fears, Cognetta had tried hard to defend the union from his violent group of extortionists, the lawyers wrote. This does not in any way diminish his crime, they wrote, but Cognetta's resistance in the face of the enterprise and his otherwise spotless record set him apart from the other more dangerous criminals for whom the racketeering enterprise is a way of life. Okay, so what are they saying? The lawyers are saying that yeah, we know he made a mistake, but he was also afraid of his life, which, when you fear can make you do things that you don't want to do. And on top of him being afraid, he has a spotless criminal record. Okay? So they're trying to make him look like the good guy here or the least bad guy possible. All right? Or you know what I'm saying? So that's what lawyers are there for. In a reply that featured a picture of Cognetta wearing a San Francisco Giants baseball cap, accepting a $4,000 payoff from Moss on November 23, 2016, prosecutors Kimberly Ravner, Jared Leno, Jason Richmond, Justin Rodriguez, and Jason Swergold wrote that Cognetta deserves a prison term between 33 and 41 months for his crime. All right? I don't think he deserves a fucking day because the government prints their own fucking money and they do whatever the fuck they want. Fuck out of here. Fuck the feds. All right? Now, should he have did what he had to do without hurting the union? I don't know if you could do that, but hey, this is not something new. This is what the unions do. This is what the leaders do. It is what it is. Where do you think they fucking got the blueprint for all this shit? The government. Thank you very much. Everybody have a great morning. Salute to Shattered, of course. and everybody over there at Gangland. And yeah, somebody said yesterday, left a comment. You're just reading the articles from there. Yeah, that's what I'm doing. You got a fucking problem? And you pronunciation police, you grammar Gestapos that just love to say this right, say that right. If I said it wrong, I told you, you guys are like broken pencils. You're missing the point. You capiche?